What's up, guys? Dad Dash here. So I'm coming to you here with a presentation here. I wanted to go over with you the latest independent contractor agreement update that just came out. It's dated the 14th of April. And yesterday I got mine. And you should be getting yours if you haven't yet. I think it went out to everybody yesterday. But I want to go over a few things in here, and I want to make a few point out a few things that you may not be aware is in the contract. Some of these things were updated in previous updates, but I wanted to point these things out to you and go over a couple things of interest that I think are of interest to every dasher that's out there. So the first thing is you're going to see something called the recitals. And the recitals is where it actually has to discuss what each entity is in this contract and who the parties are. And this is the first very, very interesting piece of information that that comes into focus here when DoorDash describes itself. And I want you to pay attention to this. I want you to read it for yourself. You can go right to the DoorDash website and pull this up. You can print it off, keep a copy of it, turn it into a PDF, store it on your phone, store it on your computer, wherever you store your files. But I recommend you do this so you have a copy. And every time you get an update, go in and do the same exact thing. But anyways, let me just go over this first part here that I think really speaks volumes and tells you everything. If you're having a debate with somebody and they say, hey, you're not a business owner or whatever, listen, it's crystal clear who DoorDash is, what DoorDash is, and inside of understanding, once you understand this, it makes it crystal clear how you as a dasher or business using DoorDash for your business, what you should be doing and how you should be doing things appropriately. So anyways, let's jump into it here. DoorDash is a company that provides an online marketplace and services platform using web-based technology, including the Dasher app that connects contractors, businesses, and consumers. Together, they make up the DoorDash platform. So I want you to take that in right there. I've said this numerous times. DoorDash is a service provider. They are not a delivery company. They are not an employer. They don't employ us. They are a service that is made available to businesses, and we are the businesses. Essentially, what DoorDash does is they have blurred the lines so convincingly by actually posting job opportunities and stuff on which they should be banned from. They should not be allowed to be posting on Indeed. They shouldn't, neither should Grubhub or Uber Eats. They're not employers. They're basically saying, hey, come in, be business, come in and open a business, open a food delivery business. And people don't even realize that's what they're doing. Or a delivery business. We'll just call it just a delivery business. They say, come on, open your business. They don't even know they're doing that. And they don't even know how to do it. They don't even know how to do it properly or profitably. And then they take advantage and exploit these people who think they're working for DoorDash when they're not. They're working for themselves. And it says it right here. So it continues on. It says the DoorDash platform enables individuals and businesses, consumers, to place orders for goods and services from restaurants and other businesses, merchants, and contractors. Once such orders are placed, the DoorDash platform notifies contractors that a contracted service opportunity defined in section 3.1 below is available and facilitates completion of contracted services. DoorDash is not a restaurant, food delivery service, or food preparation business. There it is, guys. I mean, if you need it any more clearly defined, they tell you what they're not, they tell you what they are, and they tell you what it is they're doing. They're offering you a contracted service opportunity. Now we can call it a CSO. Now they define what we are. Contractor is an independent provider of contracted services authorized to conduct such services in the geographic location in which they operate. The contractor possesses and controls all equipment and personnel necessary to perform the contracted services in accordance with applicable laws, and the contractor desires to enter into this agreement for the opportunity to receive contracted service opportunities made available through the DoorDash platform. This is why they're pushing this out right now. It's right before May, and they're redefining what we are. They're redefining, they're making it clearer what it is that we receive, contracted service opportunities. And they're making it clear that we are the owner of everything. We own our phones, we own the equipment. We are the business. We are a business that is dealing with them. The contractor understands and expressly agrees that they are not an employee of DoorDash or any restaurant, other business, or individual using the DoorDash platform, and that they are performing contracted services on behalf of themselves and their businesses, not on behalf of DoorDash. Contractor understands that they are free to select the times they wish to be available on the DoorDash platform to receive contracted service opportunities. They are free to negotiate their compensation by, among other things, accepting or rejecting the contracted service opportunities transmitted through the DoorDash platform, and can make such decisions to maximize their opportunity to profit. I want you to understand that wording. Opportunity to profit. This is DoorDash dealing with the fact that they have a lot of unprofitable dashers out there. And they're saying, hey, that's a decision of the dasher. That's a decision of how they're running their business. Hey, it's not effective at the fact that these people don't even know they're in business, or how to run a business, or how to be profitable. And they're saying it's not our responsibility. They're running a business. But the problem with this is that they're tricking people into believing they're business owners, or not business owners, employees, not realizing they're actually a business owner in the eyes of DoorDash, and that they're actually a business. We're no different than Walmart in DoorDash's eyes, or any other business out here that operates. They have the sole right to control the manner in which contracted services are performed and the means by which those contracted services are completed in accordance with the applicable laws. And then it goes into the contract, and it goes deeper into all of this information. But guys, this is it. Like that first part, if you read anything else, read that, screenshot that, put that up, read that every morning, because that's what you are. You are not an employee of DoorDash. You are not an employee of Grubhub. You are not an employee of anyone. And if you can't see this, if you don't understand this, if you want to put the blinders on and stand out here and talk stupid, I'm not an employee, I'm an employee, you're not. It's right here. If anyone doubts it, it's right here. Now, it gets into a lot of stuff. I'm not going to go through this entire thing. But I'm going to tell you that it tells you have the right to multi-app. It tells you have the right to, it lays out a new way of dispute resolution, that now the contractor has the right to control and do different things. It lays out that you're bound by the consumer terms of service and any breach of the consumer terms of service, and you need to read what that is. Okay, because the consumer terms of service takes precedence. So let's go into the consumer terms of service. By entering this agreement, contractor agrees to be bound by. So consumer terms of service. Let's check out what that is. So this is interesting. This is something new. So I've not read this yet. It seems to be rules. You will only use services for lawful purposes. You will only use services in accordance with applicable laws. You will only use or access services using means explicitly authorized by DoorDash. Ooh, you do not have a compatible device, or if you've downloaded the wrong version of the technology for your device, we reserve the right to terminate your use of the technology. Or sir, you will not use or attempt to use a user's account, impersonate any person or entity, or forward or manipulate headers or identifiers to disguise the origin of content being transmitted. You will not, sorry, I was blocking my face there. You will not use or attempt to use services or content. Wow. I got to go through this and really dig into it. I have not done that, but let me tell you, this is something that basically is now, I think, And it goes through again, reiterating that we are independent. Look at this. Wow. Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. So I gotta go through that. I have not full disclosure, I have not read that DoorDash consumer terms of service. So I've got to go through and read that. But I'm going to tell you, like I said, there's a lot in here that you need to read, because what I'm seeing on that, and that's just an eyeball view, I haven't sat down, digested it, and read it like I normally do with these agreements, is it appears they're going to be dealing with, potentially things like para, and people that are dealing with people that have, using other people's accounts and things of that nature. They're going to be cracking down, it sounds like, and they're putting this out first. And I got a feeling we're going to have an interesting next few months as people are getting deactivated and things are happening, because now it looks like they're protecting that. So it looks like, and again, this section 2.11, I think, deals with to prevent unauthorized access to contractor's account and to prevent unauthorized access use of personal information. Contractor agrees to protect and keep confidential all personal information. Okay. So there it is. If contractor believes someone may attempt to use or has access to contractor's account, we have to let them know. Contractor should at all times ensure they use the most up-to-date version of the Dasher app. Have a mobile device capable of reliably running the most up-to-date version of the app, and not intentionally block or attempt to bypass an automatic Dasher update. From time to time, DoorDash may invite the contractors to participate in sessions to test new features within or related to the Dasher platform. So that's new. That's actually something that's not in the previous agreement. I know that for a fact. Wow. So, like I said, there's a lot here. Go through and read this. There's a new content section. And this I have read. And it's basically stating that when you send DoorDash any content, whether that's a video for purposes of an appeal, whether that's, they've got social media guidelines. I have not read that, but I think I need to read that. That content that is, among other things, discriminatory, and it's got to be but we have to make sure we're abiding to the social media guidelines. Let's click in and see what this is. Social media guidelines. Wow. So I guess they're going to start asking Dashers to, it appears that they're going to start asking Dashers to, I guess, which they already have. We know there's been certain YouTubers out there that have gotten invited to produce content for DoorDash, and that they're going to, I guess, link into certain Dashers that they like who are doing content that is good. But listen, here it is. Relationship of party. Again, further reiterating, the parties acknowledge and agree this agreement is between two co-equal, independent business enterprises that are separately owned and operated. The parties are not employees, agents, joint ventures, or partners for any purpose. They're making it clearer and clearer with every one of these updates. And DoorDash shall not have the right to and shall not control the manner or method of accomplishing the contracted services to be performed by the contractor. I want you to remember that. So you can somersault up to the customer's house and do a flip and put the bag up. And DoorDash says they have no right on it. The only thing they're concerned with is that food is there safe. If it's safe, hot, and presented well, and there's no damage done to the food, you're good. Obviously, you might, if you're flipping and doing stuff, you might have a problem maintaining that. But and it states, the tax authorities, how you're going to get paid, contractor's failure, in the event there's a service failure. I want you to understand this too. There is now a payment failure provision, meaning if DoorDash believes we have failed, and that can be failing to deliver, failing in some way in this contract, the way I read this, they have the right to take our pay away. They have a right to take the pay for that order away. And then it's also letting you know too, also, I guess, contractors have a will to acquire equipment, including vehicles, thermal bags, and so forth. The Contractor is solely responsible for ensuring that the vehicle used conforms to all local laws. It even states in here, you can hire people to work for you on DoorDash. I'm not sure who would have the volume that would necessitate having multiple people work for them. It also says you got to keep car insurance coverage. And then it talks about communications, email communications, SMS, phone calls. And then, of course, and then, of course, you've got this mutual arbitration agreement, which has, I guess, some new updates to it. And essentially, you can, if you're a new dasher, I do believe, do they still have that in here? Let's see. Nope, I don't think they do. Including but not limited to the contractor's classification as independent contractor. Wow. Okay. There it is. They're adding that in there to make that a part of American Disability. I don't believe that. Yeah. So now I guess you have to demand it, arbitration, class action waiver. Yeah, they've actually added quite a bit to this. Oh, there it is. And the new contractor's right. So if you do have an opportunity to opt out, if you want to, if you're new to the arbitration agreement, when you signed up, you had an opportunity to opt out. They cannot force you into arbitration. It's just many people don't understand they have the right to opt out. I didn't even think about it. And you don't. And then it also, just so you know, technically speaking, you could be garnished. DoorDash has actually, you're not, technically speaking, an independent contractor is not supposed to be able to be garnished. But DoorDash is actually, because they're putting it in the contract, they're basically essentially having you waive that, and you're giving permission inside this contract to allow that they can garnish you. Or if somebody wants to garnish you and they send the paperwork in, I mean, it's going to be more difficult than that, but I mean, just so you know, you're not protected. And modification, material changes, transferability waiver, third party. Anyways, listen. I would fully 100% recommend that you can see there's a lot here. And you've got to read this if you haven't already. You've got to make yourself aware of what is in this agreement. When you go through this, it's going to be an eye-opening experience. And what I'm going to tell you is this. Once you understand what you are, once you understand the fact that you are a business, and you understand the issue that I've been trying to put forth on this channel now for a long, long time, and that is making it clear, that as DoorDash makes it clear, DoorDash is a service provider. They are not an employer. They allow you and want you to, and in fact, it says right in this agreement, if you read in there, your pay is open for negotiation. However, negotiation means DoorDash will tell you to go fly a kite. And they will. But technically speaking, you could call DoorDash. You have the right to call DoorDash on every order and say, hey, DoorDash, what's the payout on this order? Confirm the payout if you're wanting to find that out. And they will give it to you. Now, you've already accepted that contract, so you're contractually obligated now with a penalty to finish that contract out. And if you don't, you will end up getting your completion rate affected. So it's catch-22. But technically speaking, yes, you could turn around and say, hey, all right, I'm out of this deal. I don't want to do it anymore. I thought there'd be extra tip. Now I know it's $6.25. But look, if you're trying to make a decision about whether to stay in an order, or say you're standing in a restaurant and you're like, hey, you know, right now there's options to get out for your completion rate. You can call in, chat in, and say, hey, what's the final payout of this order? And determine if it's worth your time. And if it isn't worth your time, get out. If it is, stay. You know, that's up to you. That's a decision you get to make. But they're not an employer. They have no dominion over you at all. You are your own employer. You are your own HR. You are your own everything. You are your own business entity, just like it lays out in here, which means you shouldn't be only using DoorDash to give yourself opportunities to run your business. You should be branching out, building your business, building your relationships, creating opportunities for your business to thrive by going out and creating competition among the services that are out there to help you run your business. And if you do that, you will make more money because you will have created competition among the different services that you have out there. Make sure you read your contract. Make sure you stay on the right side of these companies that you're working, that you're using, and demand that they pay you your fair value. And if your business model no longer works in your market, if the demand for your business services are no longer there, and you can't go out and make enough money to survive, then that means you're out of business. Simple as that. So, that's where I'm going to leave you guys at. Read this. I'm going to link the new terms of service in this video. So, if you're, for content providers out there or makers out there, I would encourage you to cover this on your channel. Big ones, Pedro, I'm talking to you. I reached out to you. I think you should make this a topic of your show. I think we need to break this down. We need to go over this. Every time one comes out, we need to make this something we talk about and we inform about. And this is why we're here. It's what we should be doing. Because every question we have, every debate we have is settled when you start looking at the TOSs. When you start reading it, it lets you know everything. And the more educated we are, the more aware we are of what we are, who we are, and what these companies believe we are, the better we can become. Guys, as always, stay safe, stay profitable, and Dad Dash will talk to you soon.